So it is our final Sunday to explore the inner world. While everything else is going crazy out there with getting ready for the holiday, getting ready for Christmas, we've got a week left and there's still things to do and buy and bake and this and that. Every week we've come in and looked at an interpretation, a translation of the prayer that the man whose birth we celebrate this month said. And it's called the Lord's Prayer, or the Our Father. And every Sunday this month we have taken a translation, knowing that there are many translations of it. It was originally spoken in Aramaic, and the language of the Aramaic language has so many layers of meaning. Every Aramaic word practically has layers of meaning. So one of those layers got chosen to be the word used in that prayer, and then when it got translated into English, that's the meaning they took, and then they had to find an English word for that. And so lots of different ways that prayer could be interpreted. So we've looked at that, different interpretations the last 2 Sundays of the month. Today is the last Sunday for that. And why, even though this is only the 18th, would I say this is the last Sunday for that? Come on, tell me. Why would that be? Okay, good. So you know that then, right? You all know that. There is no Sunday service next week. What? I don't know what I'm going to do with myself. It's going to be very odd. I might just sleep in on a Sunday morning. Won't that be a crazy thought? So for the first time in 21 years, we will not have a service on a Sunday morning. We have never not had a service. We've never been snowed out. We've never had a heat wave that has kept us away. Nothing. Even we've had crazy rainstorms with that whole foyer flooded, but we still had service. But we are not going to have service on Christmas Sunday to give all of the staff and the musicians and our volunteers and the ministers a day off. So we are not going to meet on Christmas morning. We will have a 1 o'clock potluck here, so come at 1 o'clock if you want to do that. But no Sunday service, which is why today is our last Sunday to explore this beautiful, beautiful prayer that the master teacher Jesus gave us. So today we're going to go into the translation that most of us know, the one that starts, Our Father, the one that we know. But before we go there, I want to tell you something that's very fun and a fun coincidence. I put that in quotes because we don't believe in coincidences. Or we say coincidences with a capital C, meaning a coincidence is God just lining things up to be in perfect alignment for something to move forward. That's what a coincidence is. So this coincidence happened the first Sunday of this month after service. One of our beloved members, Gloria Richardson, came up to me and said, "How interesting that you're focusing on the Lord's Prayer this month, because I just started learning the Lord's Prayer in Aramaic. I'm committing it to memory." I said, "You are? That's amazing. Would you like to say it for us one Sunday this month?" And she looked at me and had a 1/2 second, just a blink of an eye of hesitation, then went, "Yes, I would. When can you be ready?" "Well, let's go the last Sunday." I went, "Okay, well, that's the 18th. So she is ready to do it, to give us that. So Gloria, come on up, and she is going to share with us.
Awun dabesh maya, neth kadash shumak. Tete malkutak, nehwe sibanyanak, akana dabishmaya, daf ha. Haklan lakma, the meshuna, the sukanan yaumana, wash blukan kabain, watahain, akana, daf kanan, Shwala Lahayaben. Ula Teklan Lanashuna. Ela Paksan Min Bisha. Meto Dalahe. Makuta. Wahela. Watesbukta. Lalam. Amen. Amen.
Thank you, Gloria. So as I have done every Sunday, I have shared the translation in English. I haven't tried it in Aramaic. I have shared the translation in English before we explored it. So that's what I will do this morning. If you want to say it with me, because you probably know it, we could do it. So here we go. Our Father, which art in heaven.
Yes.
Excuse me? Did you just hear some? Did you hear something? I thought I heard, but no. Let's just start over again. Okay, I don't know, I had a little moment there. Okay, here we go. Our Father, which art in heaven.
Yes. Did you call me?
Call who? Okay, all right. Who is messing with me? You? Is it you over there, Michael? Deb in the back, Lonnie? Who? Somebody quit it. Knock it off. I know we have fun in here, but let's not have fun in this way. I have a talk to give, so here we go. We're going to try it again. Our Father, which art in heaven.
There you go again.
What?
You called me. You said, Our Father, which art in heaven.
So here I am. What's on your mind?
What's on my mind? They say that when you talk to God, you're praying, but when God talks to you, you're schizophrenic? Have I, in fact, let the holidays send me over the edge?
No, I don't think so.
Okay, well, I think that's a relief, but, there's nothing really on my mind, God. I'm just a little busy here, you see. I'm a minister, and I'm giving a Sunday talk about Jesus' ancient prayer. I was really just going to set the tone by saying the prayer. Of course, you already know all this, but I really don't have anything particular on my mind.
All right.
Then go on.
Okay, well, I will. Let's try this again. Our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name.
Excuse me, but I just have to ask you, do you know the meaning of what you just said? Because it is really, really important.
Again, I'm trying to give a sermon here. I've got all these people wanting to hear something inspirational from me, and you are really interrupting.
I'm interrupting you? Oh, really?
Oh, yeah. God interrupting a sermon about God. All right, well, I guess I get the irony. I'm sorry. I apologize. Let's see. Okay, well then, hallowed be thy name. Hallowed be thy name. Hallowed be thy name. It sounds beautiful. I love it. What does it mean? This is a test, isn't it, God? I knew it. I knew you were going to do this one day. You're testing me to see what kind of minister I am, to see if I know what this is. I knew this would happen.
Michele.
Yeah.
Haven't you learned yet that I don't give you tests? I was just wondering if you knew the power in the words you just spoke.
Oh.
Hallowed means wholeness and perfection. Name really refers to the nature of something. So when you said, hallowed be thy name, what you really said was that wholeness and perfection are my nature. That is such an important concept to grasp.
Yeah.
One that I think your congregation could benefit from fully understanding.
True.
Because if my nature is wholeness and perfection, then I know nothing of separation and imperfection. I know nothing of sickness, of troubles, of sorrow, of failure, of pain, of hurt. Hallowed be thy name means my nature is altogether good, and that I am the author of perfect good. And since you called me Father, implying a parent-child relationship, you must realize the tremendous significant connection here. The nature of the parent is automatically transferred to the child. It is a cosmic law that like begets like. Just like it's not possible for a rose bush to produce lilies or for a cow to give birth to a dog, my offspring must be of the same nature as I. And since my nature is wholeness and perfection, so is yours, my child. So is yours. Whatever appearances may say to the contrary. Now that's something to share with your congregation, isn't it?
Yeah, I'd say so. You know, since you brought it up, and since we're just having a little, pardon me, but since God and I are having a little chat here, may I ask you about this father thing?
Certainly. A lot of people do.
Well, so why father? Why is God always portrayed in the masculine?
It's really pretty simple. Just remember, this prayer was spoken over 200 years ago. Using masculine terminology was the norm. Look at your Science of Mind textbook, for example. Ernest Holmes wrote it as recently as 1926, and yet it still uses masculine terms. By the way, I want you to know that I don't mind every time you gender neutralize an Ernest Holmes quote.
Good to know.
I know that some of my children did not have human fathers who were nurturing, supportive, and unconditionally loving. And so for them, thinking of me as father may not feel very good. But what is important is the cosmic concept of the perfect father. That is what I am, because wholeness and perfection are my nature. I know only love. I know only support. I know only nurturing.
I'll let you in on a little secret.
Okay.
I don't really care what label you put on me. Call me father, call me mother, call me Sally, call me Howard. You know, as in, Howard be thy name. I don't care. Now, why don't you get on with your prayer? We're taking up a lot of service time.
We are taking up a lot of service time, and I've got a talk to give here. You know, I only have 20, quote unquote, minutes. So let's see. Where was I? Our Father which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Okay, here we are. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven.
Now, here's where things get interesting. Do you really mean what you just said?
Well, yeah, sure. I think so. Yeah, of course I mean what I just
You're
said.
praying to have my kingdom come and to have my will expressed on earth. That's quite a goal. And you realize, of course, that this one is up to you. That is to say, your work is to bring more and more of my ideas, such as peace and love and harmony and abundance, into concrete form upon this plane. Now, I don't mean just you. I mean everybody.
Good.
That is what you are all here to do. Remember, you were born to make manifest my glory that is within you. Hey, how do you like that? God quoting Marianne Williamson. Anyway, here's what I want you to do. You've got to get the word out to let people know that I have glorious and wonderful plans for them. My will for them is that they express life fully and freely and joyously. It is never my will that they suffer. But I know a lot of them do. Please tell them in whatever way you can that it is not my will that brings this about, but it is their sense of separation from me. It is because they forget that my nature, and therefore their nature, is whole and perfect.
They forget that I am as close as their breath. They forget that when they think, they are using my mind and my creative power. If they realized the power in their thoughts, they would think twice before they think. And tell them also to listen to those creative urges within them. Tell them to pay attention to those deep inner knowings that they all have. Tell them that that's me talking to them. Tell them it's me trying to get their attention. But so often they just dismiss my voice as a pie-in-the-sky dream. What they forget is they bring the kingdom to earth and express my will here on earth by living fully. Of course, I could tell them all of this directly if they would only listen.
I wonder how well I listen.
Well, now that you mention it, you could continue to work on that. But remember, you are a work in progress, just like everyone else.
Yeah, so true. Okay, so look, Lord, I really need to finish up this, at least quoting the prayer, so we can get to actually the sermon here. So let's see. I'm taking a bit longer than I expected. Sorry, guys. So the next line is, give us this day our daily bread.
You know, you might benefit from cutting out some of the bread. You don't really need any more carbs.
I didn't know God had an attitude. All right. So this is starting to get kind of personal, God. I didn't really need to hear that.
Praying can be a dangerous thing. You could wind up changed, you know.
Oh, yeah.
That's what I'm trying to get across to you. You called me,
I did.
And here I am.
True.
It's too late to stop now. Keep praying. I'm interested in the next part of your prayer. Well, go on.
No. Not so sure I want to.
Why not?
I'm afraid of what you're going to say.
Why don't you try me and see?
All right, here goes. Forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors.
Let's get one thing straight right up front. I don't forgive.
What?
You heard me. I don't forgive.
Well, that news certainly fills me with all sorts of warm and fuzzy feelings.
Just think about it for a minute. Go back to that hallowed be thy name part we just went over. If my nature is wholeness and perfection, I know nothing else. And if your nature is wholeness and perfection, I know nothing else of you. Then I know of nothing to forgive. Simple as that. You, on the other hand, are a different story. When you don't forgive, you really muck up the works. My wholeness and perfection have a pretty hard time expressing through you when you're unforgiving.
Yeah.
That's really what this line of the prayer means. As you forgive events and people in your life, you are freed from feelings of separation from me. So have you forgiven everyone you need to forgive?
Well, I'm trying to.
As Yoda said in that great spiritual movie, Star Wars, there is no try, there is only do. I inspired that line, you know.
So I'll ask the question again. Have you forgiven everyone and everything you need to forgive? For example, what about this recent election? Is there any forgiveness work there?
I knew it. I knew that's what you were going to bring up. That's why I didn't want to go there. You know, it's still really icky and it's too fresh and I'm just not ready to forgive.
But what about your prayer? You just prayed to forgive everyone. You just prayed to have your connection with me strengthened. Didn't you mean it?
Well, yes, of course I meant it. But can this be the one exception? I think I'm not the only one in the room that would like this to be the one exception. Can it be the one exception?
No. Actually, there can't be. You see, I can't express through you. You can't live the kingdom here on earth if you insist on carrying around any bitterness inside. Now, can you?
I guess not.
So what are you going to do about it? Not try to do about it, but to do about it.
Well, I'm going to keep working on it.
Nope, that won't cut it. What are you going to do about it now?
You mean like now? Right? Now, in the middle of the service, which, by the way, I need to get back to?
This is important. They'll wait.
All right. Okay, so I do know some forgiveness affirmations. I learned them a long time ago, so that's what I'm just going to take a whole look at that whole election thing and all these people. And okay, here it goes. I fully and I freely forgive you, and I release you. I loose you and let you go quickly to your good. All things are cleared up between us now forever. I now behold you with the eyes of love, and I rejoice in your perfection. You are free and I am free too. There, done.
Well, it was a start, but let's try one more time with a little more gusto.
All right. I fully and freely forgive you and release you. I loose you and let you go quickly to your good in peace. All things are cleared up between us now and forever. I now behold you with the eyes of love, and I rejoice in your perfection. You are free, and I am free too.
There now. Wonderful. How do you feel?
Well, actually, not bad. Not bad at all. In fact, pretty great. Lighter and freer and closer to you. More filled with your presence.
That is the whole idea, you know.
Yeah.
You're not through with your prayer, so go on.
All right. Lead me not into temptation, but deliver me from evil.
Of course I'll do that. I always do this. You're the one who needs to cooperate.
What do you mean by that?
Come on. Just look at some of the temptations that get you. You make choices that aren't always the greatest for you, don't you? What about just this week, for example? You choose to stay up late and watch some inane TV show, even though you had committed to yourself that you would get up early and work out. Mm-hmm. Did you get up? Mm-mm. No, because you were too tired.
I'm too tired.
What about your choice to overload your schedule so that you hardly have any free time with your husband?
Yep.
What about the choice you make now and then to get involved in gossip?
Oh,
what about the choice to become fearful when appearances aren't what you want? What about the choice to lose patience with a friend?
Okay.
What about your choice to think those negative thoughts?
Yeah, right.
What about the choice
Okay, I get the picture. I make my choices. I reap the consequences, right?
Right. Mm-hmm. See? You are a quick learner.
Thank you.
And just so we're really clear about this line of the prayer, I've never been a big fan of the word evil. People think it means some negative power separate from me. But if I am wholeness and perfection, as we've already established I am,
right,
then a negative power separate from me is impossible.
I loved it when your Ernest Holmes wrote, "The problem of evil will be met only to the degree that you cease doing evil and do good, for evil will disappear when you no longer indulge in it." That Ernest was a pretty smart guy. You should listen to him more often. Now go ahead and finish your prayer.
All right. For thine is the kingdom and the power and the glory forever.
Do you know what would bring me glory forever? Do you know what would make me really happy?
No, but I suspect you're about to tell me.
If you realized who walks with you all the time.
If we had these conversations more often.
If you would allow me to direct you and guide your life. If you would keep working on that forgiveness piece. Mm-hmm. It's a pretty constant thing. Then my kingdom and my power and my glory would be yours as well, right here on earth.
Wow. Amen to that.
Yes. Amen to that.
Gee, now I've really got to get back to the lesson. I've got a whole sanctuary here full of people who are wanting to hear something from me inspiring. So God, since I've got your attention, what do you think I should say?
I think you and I already did.
Oh, I guess you're right. Well, maybe then I have an idea. What do you guys think if we joined together, perhaps uninterrupted this time, and actually said the prayer together? And I bet if we asked, God would be willing to join us.
I'd love to.
So how about if we say this together? Our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debtors, as we forgive our debtors. Lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory, forever. Amen, amen, and amen. Michelle Davis, Reverend Sandy Gibbons. Not playing God, living as God. Give them another hand. So that brings our time to a close on this amazing prayer. This prayer of the Master Teacher Jesus. And one of the ways that Amen can be interpreted, and I shared it the very first Sunday, which is a way that I believe I am going to begin ending my prayers from now on. I love it. It is these words: I seal this prayer in faith, in trust, and in truth. I seal this prayer in faith, in trust, and in truth. So what if we seal this prayer that we have said? And you can come on up, Orville, because we're going to have something amazing from him in just a second. Let's seal this prayer together, this prayer that we have said every single Sunday for 3 weeks, that we have deepened into the meaning of. We've taken a new look at it. Let us seal it in faith, in trust, and in truth. Here we go. I seal this prayer in faith, in trust, and in truth. One more time. I seal this prayer in faith, in trust, and in truth.